Hey, this is Osiris, and today I'm going to talk about PC gamers. Are PC gamers graphic whores? You're watching Bioshock Infinite. What's up, guys? This is Osiris, and today I'm going to talk about PC gamers and graphics.
Do it! On it!
Now, I've been in and seen quite a few conversations on Facebook and Twitter in the past few days, and talking about graphics. There's a lot of people out there who say, I don't play games because of graphics. Now, keep in mind these people I'm referring to, or the groups of people I'm referring to, are the people who buy 660s or 760s and up, including but not limited to the 670, the 770, the 880s, the 780, the 680, and the R9 280s and R9 290s and up. Maybe the 270. I'm not all that familiar with AMD cards, but you get the point. The mid-range cards and up. So you're spending about $200, $250 and up only on the graphics card. And that's not including the rest of your system. So these people, there's some of these people who claim that they don't buy games because of graphics. They didn't buy Crysis 3 because of the graphics. They didn't buy Battlefield 4 because of the graphics. They didn't buy, I don't know, what else is there? Bioshock Infinite because of the graphics and the performance. I just can't believe that. I don't think the graphics is the only reason you buy a game, but the graphics are what draws you into the game. Like, it's just like a car. When you are shopping for cars online and you're looking at the pictures, you're naturally attracted to cars with the best paint job and the best that are the best looking car. You have no idea how that car runs. It might not even have an engine to it, for all that you know, but you're drawn into it because of how it looks. So I think the same goes for PC games. You look at the screenshots, you look at the demos of what you're shown, and you make an assumption at that point, whether you think the game looks interesting based on what you see and what you've been told. There's like Star Citizen, it's coming out. Watch Dogs came out, is coming out, and really, I haven't seen or heard anybody talking about the gameplay on these games. There might be a few people, but the large majority of the people that I've seen on the internet are talking about how great these games look. Will my hardware be able to play these games? And this is based simply on what you've seen because of the graphical fidelity. So for the people out there who say, I don't play games because of graphics, that's a little bit disingenuous. Now, I'm not saying that you just play games because of graphics or you buy games because of the graphics, but that plays a huge factor and role into your purchasing decisions, which means you're about graphics. There's no shame in that. There's nothing wrong with that. But you can't sit there and tell me that you don't like, that you're not interested in the graphics. You only play for the gameplay. That sounds like some hipster type shit to me, to be quite frank. So, I don't know. I just think gamers in general these days are they're not true to themselves. They're not true to everybody else, and I think that's largely in part due to the internet, because everybody wants to be grouped into something, and usually they try to align themselves with the so-called right group, whichever group they believe is right, and it's not honest to say that you like a game simply because of the graphics, when we know all damn well that before the game comes out, that's all that anybody's ever even talking about is the graphics. Before Battlefield 4 came out, people were talking about how large of an improvement in graphics it was over Battlefield 3. So, and of course performance. And I group performance diehards in the same group as graphical diehards. There's not, and those are not labels that you should wear with shame. There's nothing wrong with that. I and many other people are impressed with people who have a system that has dual 780s in it, or Crossfire 290s with a FX 8350 or an Intel i7. That's an impressive system, and shit, I'm jealous to be honest with you. So there's nothing wrong with being a performance nut or a graphics nut. That's just what kind of person or gamer that you are. That doesn't make you less of a gamer. That doesn't mean you enjoy your games more or less than the next person who plays only indie games. That just means that's what you prefer. I quite personally prefer big, action-packed, cinematic, high graphical games. That's just what I like. It's kind of like action movies. I prefer my action movies big, with lots of explosions and lots of special effects. The more the better, as long as it fits into the movie or the story naturally, and it doesn't feel like it was just thrown in there. Same with graphics. I like my graphics to be over the top, like as realistic and cinematic as possible, or as good looking as possible, but not at the expense of the game or the story of the game or the gameplay or how the game mechanics. So like Battlefield 4 is broken on certain levels, and it doesn't matter how good it looks if it's not playable. There's other games out there that are broken, but it doesn't matter how good the game looks if you can't play it. So I agree, it's not just about graphics, but you're not being honest with yourself if you don't enjoy games because of the graphics. That's not to say that you can't enjoy a Minecraft or a Bastion or a Fez or any of those popular indie games, or even Starbound. That just means when you're ready to play a game that's super over the top with a super immersive experience, that you're willing to pay $3, $4, $5. Some people are paying $600, $700, $800, $1,000 for a Titan to get these graphics at a smooth performance rate. So I'm gonna say today that people are PC gamers, and specifically are graphics whores. There's just no way other to put it. We like graphics. Just think about it. A graphics card, a mid-level to low-level graphics card is $200. A mid-level CPU is about $200. A PlayStation 4 is $400. So your graphics card and your processor alone is the cost of a console.
Now we just have to get them back to the box, and then we get our airship.
And that's not including the rest of your system. So if you care nothing about graphics, you'd get the i3, the Intel i3, or the FX 4300 from AMD for $100 or about $115 or whatever, and get you a $150 graphics card. Or matter of fact, you would just take the computer that's already sitting in your house and buy a GTX 750 for $150 and throw it in there and just be done with it. I'm sure everybody realizes that a regular old HP with a GTX 750 will play any game that's out right now. Very good. Matter of fact, better than probably a console will. So it doesn't require a lot of money to play these games on PC at all. I think many people on the internet and on YouTube have made that clear by now. Everybody should know this. So for the people who are going out and paying I'm going to say starting at $600, $700, $800, $900, $1,000, $1,500 for PCs, they're not doing it because they want. I don't know. I mean, there is no other reason to do it except for performance and graphics, frames per second, smooth frame rates, and graphics, which all ties into graphics at some level. So, I just wanted to talk about that and say my 2 cents on it, because it just gets kind of old that people keep saying it's not about the graphics. It is about the graphics. That's like saying that your brand new 2014 sports car is not about the looks. How the hell is it not about the looks? It's definitely about the looks. It's about the image. And it goes fast. Graphics, looks, and performance. Especially us men, we like looks and performance. So, you know, there's always that. Those people who are gonna say that they're gonna act like hipsters and say that it's not about graphics, and they buy games because of just simply the gameplay. Blase. But I don't believe them. Definitely don't believe them. I mean, you can go anywhere on any gaming forum and find many threads of benchmarks of posts of games that haven't came out, talking about how great they look, of many things that are just graphics alone. People are excited about Maxwell, the new NVIDIA architecture coming out. People are flooding forums talking about the proposed 860s, 870s, and 880s. What is AMD coming out with next? People are speculating about that. For a group of people who don't care about graphics, there sure is a lot of talk about graphics. I mean, you call a spade a spade. But, what do you guys think about that? How many people out there actually admit that they like games because of graphics? And it's definitely ranked up there within the top 3 reasons why you might play a game. Because I personally don't find no shame in saying, hey, I purchased this game because of graphics, and graphics alone, maybe. Or I purchased this game because of graphics, and a friend of mine told me the game played very well. I have Crysis. I played Crysis 1, and I have Crysis 2 currently. And I don't think either one of those games was that great of a game on its own. To me, especially Crysis 1 was a tech demo showing off the CryEngine, so that they could sell the CryEngine to other developers and make their money that way. That's what I believe. So, I mean, you may disagree, but I don't disagree. I mean, I obviously don't think it's any other way. But yet, many people bought Crysis 1, even though they knew that their hardware couldn't play the game. They wanted to get that level of performance, try their PC at it, and see those graphics for themselves. They wanted to experience that. Nobody was ever talking about how great of a game Crysis 1 was. Everybody was always saying that game is a beast of a game, and it's gonna bring your system to its knees because of the performance requirement and the graphics. It's gonna eat your graphics card up. Murderer was what they shouted when I ran out. I would even go so far as to say the same applies to console gamers. They just don't have as much to argue about because they don't have expandable hardware. But people on console are looking for high fidelity graphics games too. They're looking for a game that looks good too. Many people talk about the graphics on console. Even the ones that you don't even think about, that would talk about graphics, like the sports players. Every year, the same game comes out, but you want to see how much better it will look, and what type of more better and fluid animations they'll add to the characters, the sports players. So, to a degree, it's everybody. Once again, I'm going to say that I'm not saying the graphics are the end-all, be-all, most important thing for a game. Of course it's not. I just think that it's the main attraction. It's the name in lights above the theater. It's the shiny paint job on a new car. It's what brings you to it, and then you experience the rest. That's just my point of view. You guys can let me know what your point of view is. Everybody does things for different reasons and thinks a different way. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna get out of here, and hopefully you you guys enjoyed the video, you guys can hit me on Twitter at Osiris, or follow me on YouTube. So I'll holler at y'all later. Peace, 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 peace.